Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video I'll be showcasing all the weekly information you need to know about Grand Theft Auto Online. We got some extra money, which is pretty dang lame. The extra money this week is going to involve the Stockade. An armored truck. What you're gonna do is go to the rear of it, you're gonna throw a bomb of some sort on it, and boom! The doors are gonna go open, and then you can get some money out of it. This week you're going to be making double money doing this, which I guess is cool. You're going to make about $50,000. So if you see a stockade in front of you, throw a bomb at it because you'll make some extra cash. Unfortunately, this is the only extra money you're going to be making this week, apart from Tiny Racers and some other adversary mode, which nobody's going to play. So, yeah, if you've been hoping for a good week, if you're a money grinder out there, you're kind of screwed, because there isn't any good way of making money this week, apart from, I guess, robbing trucks for $50,000, even though it'd be way more efficient just to do a single payphone hit. With the money making aside, we do have some discounted vehicles. Let's start off with the two freebies. We have the Anna Silvestra, a fun little sports classics. I can't say there's anything amazing about the Anna Silvestra, but it looks nice. This is actually what my personal one looks like, and it's got some decent handling and overall stats for the sports classics category. We also have the Dubachi 770 when it comes to the LS Prize Ride. To get your hands on this vehicle, you're gonna have to win a pursuit race 2 days in a row. That's not really that hard to do. Literally find one other friend or person to do races with and go back to back winning each one. That's as simple as it is. You'll get your hands on this vehicle in 2 days. So yeah, pretty fun car. And now we have the discounted cars. Starting off, we have the Morgan at 40% off. You're going to be picking it up for 1.25 mil, and I'd actually say this is a pretty decent vehicle to get your hands on. The Morgan features an absolutely trash top speed of 107 miles per hour. However, even though its top speed is trash, it is still within the 10th best sports cars on overall handling. And that is because this vehicle features insane acceleration and really dang good handling. So it's actually really good of a car, especially if you're not the best at driving. This is a really good beginner car because it's very forgiving. It's fast on acceleration. If you mess up, you can get right up to speed. And as I said, because it's so good on lap time, you really don't have to worry about going high speed and crashing or anything like that. So I actually think the Morgan's a really good purchase this week. Unfortunately, it's not the best looking car. I'm not the biggest fan of its overall looks, but what are you gonna do? It's still a really good vehicle, and I would suggest to pick it up. Next up, we have the Ocelot Swinger. It's a pretty sweet sports classics. It's honestly been released a lot in the past couple of months, but I'm not complaining. It's a really nice car. First of all, I think that its design itself is incredibly good, but it also features pretty decent lap time. It's the 11th best out of all these sports classics, and features a pretty good top speed of 118, also with incredibly good acceleration. It's going to be $550,000 to pick up this week, and that's actually really dang cheap. So if this kind of car catches your mood and you want to pick one up, I'd suggest to do it. That's really cheap. I mean, that's like 20 minutes of work nowadays in GTA, especially because you can make upwards of $2 million an hour, let alone the Cayo Perico replay glitch. Let's make our way back to the rest of the cars. Next up, we have the Taipan, which is... it's a rather weird car. I would say overall it's kind of a pile of trash, and I wouldn't suggest to buy it, but it does have one decent thing, which is speed. It is the 22nd fastest supercar, which, yeah, isn't crazy good, but I guess 126 miles per hour isn't the worst. Lap time-wise, it's terrible. It's like in the top 50s, which is, yeah, essentially don't get this vehicle if you want it for lap time. The only reason I'd suggest to buy the Taipan is if you really like the design. I actually think it looks cool. It's just unfortunately a really lame vehicle on overall handling and top speed, so it's just nothing that special when it comes to the Supers class. You can get your hands on it for $1.3 million, so not too bad. After the Taipan, we have the Deity. The Deity's honestly a pretty cool vehicle. It's one of the cheaper Amani Tech cars, so if you actually wanted to get your Amani Tech Enterprise started, this is a really good vehicle to get your hands on. In fact, I'll probably be picking one up this this week. The Deity is not the fastest at 117, but it's actually quite a good vehicle for the sedans class on overall speed. Not only is it decent on top speed and handling, but it also features Amani Tech upgrades, which means it can survive 12 homing missiles, it can have a homing missile lock-on jammer, and it can seat 4 people plus featuring bulletproof glass. So it's actually got a lot of really good things going for it. Overall, a pretty nice car. And for the price tag of only 1.3 mil, yeah, that's not bad. Unfortunately, you're still going to have to get your hands on an agency and then purchase the Amani Tech upgrades and all that, so it's still not going to be cheap, which is why I'd suggest just to buy a more expensive Amani Tech vehicle, but it's not a bad car for the price tag. That is definitely the case. Finally, we have 2 planes. First of all, we have the Crapliner, or otherwise known as the Streamliner. Not sure why anybody would buy this. It has no weapons whatsoever apart from 2 front-mounted machine guns. It has no flares, it doesn't fly very fast, and it's so trash that Rockstar has it 20% off, even though it's a basically brand new plane. I just don't understand why this was brought into the game. I bought it, and I was planning on making a video on it, but then I realized, why the hell would I make a video on the most worthless plane in the game? So, yeah, don't waste your money on that. We also have the Tula, which is kind of also Streamliner, which is pretty useless. I mean, the Tula is basically a Streamliner, but better. You can see it has the exact same front-mounted machine guns. The difference is that the Tula features bombs, which is actually not the end of the world. You can hover with the Tula and drop the bombs, but as well, the Tula can actually float, which means if you ever wanted to do water missions or something like that, you can at least use the Tula for that. It's still pretty useless, even though you do have like MGs on the back, a friend can use it. I wouldn't suggest to buy the Tula or the Streamliner. They're both absolute wastes of money, especially because the Tula is going to cost you about like 2.8 mil without the trade, and the Streamliner is going to be 1.8 mil, so both of these are still ridiculously expensive for what you are getting. If we make our way to the other side of the runway, we can see all the removed vehicles that are back this week, so let's see what we got. We have the Ocelot Swinger, which obviously, because it's on sale. We have the Revolter, kind of revolting to look at, if I'll be completely real. The Brawler, really good car. This thing is super good at off-roading, super fun to drive, so take a look at that one. We also have the Coquette Blackfin, a vehicle I really like the look of, but can't really say there's all too much special about it. We have the Morgan, which, as I said, is a pretty good buy, so I'd suggest to pick that up. We have the Hakachu, which is, it's a pretty good motorcycle, actually, especially for how cheap it is. We have the Riata, and finishing off, we have the Cliffhanger. So, not a bad week, not a crazy good week. I mean, money-wise, this week sucks, and for the discounts, also kind of mid. I mean, we've got 1 or 2 okay vehicles discounted, but for the most part, this is kind of what I think about this week. This week kind of just sucks for the most part, like absolutely trash. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more content like this, you know what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.